Before we begin, thank you very much to Megatron's Insane Loco Taco Addiction for joining the Patreon campaign. Credit where credit's due. That's a weird one. That's a super weird one. I do appreciate the support. Thank you very much. I told you yesterday that we'll find out Saturday if the normal intro returns or not. I'm going to leave you in suspense on that one. I'm not going to tell you if anyone's come in or not. You'll have to tune in tomorrow to find out. So there. I'm going to make you wait one more day. All right, so let's just roll straight into this. I want to talk a little bit more San Diego Comic-Con because there's a little bit of Transformer stuff that we didn't really cover and some stuff that I actually really want to talk about that is not Transformer based because there's a lot of toys that came out. So we're going to start really quick with the 3-0 stuff. The DLX line is getting Rise of the Beast Bumblebee, who looks really nice here. We've seen some of this stuff before, but now we get to see it in person, up close, and it still looks really nice. It all still looks really, really nice. The RC looks amazing. Really like how the RC turned out. This is all super high-end stuff. Thank you very much. Someone got me the MDLX. They got me the smaller scale 3-0 Optimus Prime, and it's a phenomenal figure. Thank you very much. Someone got that off of my throne, and I really do appreciate that because it's not something I would normally get for myself. But point being, I know how good these are now, and this is like the even higher end line with tons more paint and even more articulation, which is kind of scary given how much articulation the little one has. They look fantastic. They're way out of my price range, but they look really good. I'm eager to see the Primal in hand painted because it's actually like we don't have very many good examples of how that Primal looks in full color when he's not like scrambling in emotion in a fight scene. So I'm kind of looking forward to just seeing what he looks like with actual paint attached to him. And he looks so good, like actual looks like actual car lamps in his eyes. Man. Yeah, like seriously, really good stuff. Again, out of my range, but I know people who collect this stuff, so keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. That stuff's on the way. We go over to YOLO Park. So, YOLO Park super impressed me. They provided me their AMK advanced model kits to review. They are fantastic kits for the price. I still have my coupon code. If you go to their website, to go to their official shop, you can put in TJOmega to save 5%. And I get a little bit of commission off of those too. So anyone who does so, I really do appreciate that. And like it gets you those kits for like less than $30. It's pretty freaking awesome. They showed off a whole bunch of new stuff, which includes these miniature G1 models. They're again like billing these as like model kits. They just kind of look like very small ball joint based action figures. They're doing the standards of G1. They're doing Grimlock in his Dino mode, which is an interesting choice. This is their AMK Pro Series Megatron, like heavily chrome, like heavily like metallic paint and lots more detail than they already have tons of detail, but like there's a ton of paint going on that one. Lots of extra parts too. This is their larger scale line. They do you can see how big he is. You can see so that Megatron that you see down there is like 7 inches tall. Look at the Optimus is a little bit bigger. Optimus is just a little bit bigger. So they do high-end action figure stuff too. They do high-end model kit stuff too. This is, I believe, is their like high-end model kit. Could be wrong though, because they do a ton of stuff and it's hard to keep track of all of it. But it looks amazing. There's their Nemesis Prime making his in-person debut in full color. Looks appropriately frightening and intimidating. We get to like the new, and that would be, they showed off their Primal figure in Gorilla mode, 2 different head options. And again, just ridiculous amount of detail. You can see like airbrushing to get a rust pattern onto those armor plates. That's a really, really cool bit of detail to work. And you can see all the little tits of rust all over Primal's head. Like, that's a lot of detail. That's a lot of detail. It's a mean monkey, too. It's a really mean monkey. Okay, yeah, that's their advanced model kit. They do high-end model kit stuff, too. So that's what that looks like. So they showed off the Prime they're doing. And then they showed off the Shockwave from the Bumblebee movie. Super cool. Super cool. So they showed off some cool new stuff. Yeah, they got a whole new wave of the AMKs coming out too. I'm looking forward to those as well. Kodabukiya was also on hand. Kodabukiya decided the most important thing to show off was the fact that they have designs for Thundercracker and Skywarp, so expect those relatively soon. The Starscream just got announced. Not a surprise. The other Seekers are right behind. Not a surprise. They look identical except for very small touches. Different facial expressions I think is important too. So that's cool. I'm actually curious if they curious how they would handle like the cone heads if they go even further with this. Could be funny. Could be funny. Once again, I keep saying it. Yeah, this line, the Bishojo statue line, is not my thing, but I'm happy they're not overly sexualized. They could be going like way harder on these designs if they wanted to. And I'm glad, and they are very, very clever in how the designs are created to actually look like who they're supposed to be. So I give them, they're not my thing, but I give them all the credit that I can. Okay, so that's some like the Transformer stuff that was going on besides what Hasbro officially announced. I could go into things that Hasbro announced for theirs because there was a Q&A, but most of the Q&A stuff was like wait and see, cannot comment, etc., etc. I did miss the part where Ultra Magnus can intentionally break down into sections to replicate his explosion from the 86 movie. So he wasn't broken when they showed him off. That was intentional. I only got half a report. That's the problem. But we're going to pop over to the other toy companies right now. So for my Transformer news, I use TFW 2005 because it's my favorite news source for Transformers. And yes, I do the podcast there, so I'm staff. So we're going over to the sister site, the Toy Arc, to actually discuss a few more things that are outside the Transformer spectrum. But I like to diversify my collection. I don't just collect transforming robots. Let's talk about some other stuff. This is Jada Toys, and they've been doing Capcom stuff. There's their Street Fighter line. I've heard really good stuff about these Street Fighter figures. So really cool that these have done really well. And they've announced a ton of new characters. There's Guile, DJ, Fei Long. Fei Long, who I think the producers said they can't put in the games anymore because he's too Bruce Lee. But no, we'll go ahead and still make an action figure out of him. This is all cool. This is all cool. I like my Street Fighter, but this is not what I was really like clicking on this tab for. We have to scroll a little bit farther to get to that. There's a Dhalsim. That looks good. Dhalsim looks good. There we go. Oh my God. Jada Toys, call me. I have a business email. Use it. I went in touch so bad over this. So yeah, they are doing a whole new line of Mega Man toys, and they absolutely look like the best Mega Man toys we have ever gotten at retail level. What you do not see here is that Mega Man does come with an alternate face that isn't snarling, which is a good thing. Comes with an alternate arm, so he does not have to have the Buster up. Yeah, and really good. Like the fact that you even have like fire effects with their own display stand for Fireman. That's good. Oh, he looks so good. Looks so good. Yeah, just really nice all the way around. Really nicely done all the way around. Translucent fire parts too. This is what got me excited. All right, so Wave 2 is the Elect Man and Cut Man, and it's Mega Man using the Hyper Bomb weapon. So he's in green, but that's typical. So here is Wave 3, Mega Man without the helmet with new expressions. I believe metallic now as well. But they jumped to Mega Man 2, which I think is amazing. One, it's weird they leave out some Mega Man 1 cast to presumably finish later. But much more important, I think, is the fact that they're going beyond Game 1. Because toy companies fall into two traps when it comes to Mega Man. The first trap is by sticking to just the original game, because those characters have gotten a billion different toys in the past, and it's all the cool designs from 2, 3, 4, and all the later games that tend to get ignored. So the fact that they're going into Mega Man 2 already, that's really good sign. Bubble Man's a good start. Give me Metal Man. Give me Airman. Give me those two. And then we can branch out a little bit further. We go into Mega Man 3 and get me a Magnet Man and a Top Man, and I will be happy. A Shadow Man. This has possibility. The second trap that companies fall into is putting Mega Man in every wave, and they're kind of falling into that. I don't think the helmetless Mega Man is going to do enough different to really warrant another release. I would much rather them switch to Proto Man or Bass or even Roll, just to kind of switch out the main characters once in a while, instead of just relying on Mega Man in every wave, because that's how we tanked Transformers in the late 2000s, is too many Bumblebees. So same regard here, too many Mega Men, which is hard for me to say because I normally don't believe in such things. But no, Woodman and Bumbleman look great. The Met looks fun. There's Wave 2. Wave 2 looks really cool too. I'm super happy with these. I've already got these. I've already got Wave 1 on pre-order. I want Jada to contact me. I will do so many reviews for these guys. They weren't the only Mega Man. Kodabukiya showed off stuff. Oh, it's so cool. The Falcon armor, which went up for pre-order recently, looking really, really cool. It's 3D printed prototype, but hey, it still looks awesome. But that's not the news, because like I said, that went up for pre-order. The news of the launch here, because a lot of these were already made. This was the news that we actually got Axel, because those later Mega Man X titles are not well remembered. And Axel is not the best remembered character, but the fact that they're actually going for it and they're actually doing the other like main playable character of the X franchise, that's cool. And it's interesting that it comes before we got a kit for we didn't get a kit for Vile yet. We don't have kits for the X6 armor. I don't even think we have Ultimate armor yet. I think we just got X4 so far. Like there's gaps. They're dancing around this franchise a lot, and I love that because it keeps it interesting. And again, they're not falling into the trap. They've done a lot of Mega Man, but they're breaking it up every now and then. So throw in an Axel, so it's not all Mega Man all the time. Great strategy. And yeah, if they can do Axel, I think they can get away with a lot of characters. So that has me excited. Do a Maverick. Do Storm Eagle. Just one Maverick. Give me Storm Eagle or Chill Penguin. Just once. Before this line dies, I need a Maverick. All right, PlayArts Kai is doing another run for Titus and Yuna, who I've got friends who love Final Fantasy X, so I want this for them more than myself. I'm kind of on the game. I had fun when it came out, but I don't remember it as well. But yeah, like the figures look fine. This is amazing. This is Ifrit from Final Fantasy 16, and it like the fact that they're doing this on a production level is absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane looking. It looks like the most ominous kaiju you've ever met. It's going to be way out of my price range. It's probably like a $300 piece just for how big and painted it is. Because PlayArts Kais are already not cheap, and this is a huge one. I more or less point out PlayArts Kai because I'm still in the kind of the back and going like, you've only done one for FF6. Can you please do another one? Please? I'm starving. I'm drowning over here. All right. But yeah. Super cool stuff. Like PlayArts in general makes really, really good looking stuff. Just to remind you. The HeMan stuff caught my attention because they're actually doing cartoon-based designs, which I'm sure the sculptors and painters are happy about because they're way simpler than the modern figures. But it's nice. It looks like they are taking like the Origin buck, like the Origin style, and they're just making cartoon accurate, which is my preference. I know they've done that a handful of times. It always is collector lines, not something you could easily pick up at a store. And I like how they're including some deep cuts here. That other sword that He-Man has is only from one episode, and it merges with the power sword. And that is a interesting cut to pull. Man, it's a fun one to pull. Tells you they're paying attention, certainly. And then yeah, Trapjaw looks fine. Trapjaw looks good. I don't remember the context of what he's holding. I'm sure because again, it's like a one episode thing. Yeah, offhand, I can't quite remember it. Skeletor. Okay, yeah, he looks like Alan Oppenheimer's Skeletor. Yeah, these all just look really, really good. Yeah, the one thing, like, there's no real good photo of it here, but for like for the Revelations line, they're finally getting around to Goddess Tila, which I actually like the design of, so that's good to see. They're doing movie characters. It's weird. It's weird. Like, they can't get around the licensing nightmare that is like the Netflix She-Ra in order to make new toys of that, but they are willing to actually go through the effort of making the live action movie characters. Swell. I love that. Let's move on. So, this was fun. Blitzways is announcing its own Voltron based on the Netflix series. It was shown off in early prototype stage. And it looks good so far. It looks well articulated for what it is. Once it combines, then we'll really know what it is. Carbotics series. So, I guess cartoon robotics, I assume. It looks good. It looks well proportioned. I think better proportioned than the original one that came out during the show's run. So that's cool. I'm kind of meh. It looks cool. And I like the Netflix Voltron up until like the last 2 seasons where I think they dropped the ball really hard. And the ending really put me off. I tell people that all the time. Doesn't matter how good your show is. If the ending sucks, no one will remember your show well. So, like, I remember Voltron with heartache. But no, it looks cool. If you like the design, that's going to be a real good one. You won't believe what's up next in the listing. What's next in my slides? Voltron! The Netflix Voltron! So, no one read each other's memos, so Ryobot also brought their legendary Defender Voltron. And again, it looks good. It looks better than the official one that came out during the run of the toy line. Yeah, there's Spider-Verse stuff too. No real good photo. There we go. I definitely think I like the previous one better. I think the proportions looked a little bit nicer. Like, this one's kind of got a droopy shoulder thing that I'm not big into. But no, like, it's interesting that 2 different companies are doing the same Voltron at the same time. They just kind of both picked SDCC 2023, made that mistake before, 2023, to announce it. You know what's stranger? You'll never guess what's on my next slide. Voltron! Okay, 3-0 is also doing a Voltron. This is the metallic edition of the one they've already released. So I'm cheating here because this one's already been released, and this is it was being sold at San Diego Comic-Con, but I just thought it was funny. 3 Voltrons, which you tripled up on it. All right, let's talk more original stuff. Okay, so Loyal Subjects showed off a lot of their new Ninja Turtles line, including these super like hyper detailed turtles, which are kind of unsettling. I've never actually tried. Like, the only Loyal Subjects Ninja Turtle thing I've gotten was the Krang, and I'm skewed on my opinion of that Krang because mine had 2 left feet. So that was fun. But no, like, this is, like, I mean, from what I experienced, it was good. I really like the look of the Super Shredder. Yeah, there's the Krang. You see, they're doing a lot of cartoon-centric stuff. The Toka and Razor actually look more like how they looked in the video game, if I remember right. Yep. I like the style in the Raphael. Like the ripped mask there kind of reminds me more of like the current comic books than anything. Yeah, and then there's Toka and Razor. Again, I think they remind me more of how I've seen them in video games, because I think even in the cartoon, like, Toka was green, like dull green. Yeah, I only remember the blue one I only remember, like, just the blue one being in the video game. So, but it's cool. It's cool. It's cool that they're continuing that. And then yeah, NECA is also continuing, because NECA does literally everything Ninja Turtle. I want to say these are Last Ronin, but I haven't read enough Last Ronin to really know, like, what the other designs look like. I only remember the Ronin himself. They look really good though. Like, the detail and design on them works really, really well. That's not really what I wanted to highlight here. Yeah, in there we have, like, the classic comic book style turtles, all red bandanas. Where it's a really cool diorama set, by the way. Really cool diorama set. There were some fun ones in here. Like they've gone to every angle they can at this point. Here's more characters from Secret of the Ooze, Foot Ninjas, TCRI scientists. Yep, the Shredder in his, that incarnation. There's a scientist. Yep. It's still not okay. Then they're doing this, because that's a classic gimmick to go back to the Frankenstein's, the Universal monsters. This is the stuff I really like. This is the stuff I'm into. The Archie comic style. I loved the Archie comics. I bought every Slash toy that came out, remembering like Slash is one of my favorite turtles, but none of these toys are really hitting me the right way. And then I got the Slash from the comic book run, and I went, oh, that's why. Because this is the Slash I connected to. Oh, yeah. So I love they're doing this. Dreadmon looks good. Jaguar looks good. This image couldn't be loaded. Yeah, and they're doing a ton of these, too. I've got the Usagi. That's it. Like, yeah, they're just... I really, really like the fact that they're going, like, comic book style, too. They're also doing a big Krang. About time. Yeah, love the turtle stuff. Love all the turtle stuff. There's a ton more. I'm going way longer than intended already. I was trying to keep it under 20. I failed again. Let's stick with NECA. We're going with our Gargoyles stuff this time, and I love how these look. The Xanatos armor, that was pretty much expected once they announced the Steel Clan. I'm presuming the heads are swappable, so you can actually have just like the helmetless Xanatos. Presumably. They showed off Elisa Maza. There is the entire clan, which is awesome to see. I started picking these up. I've got Goliath, Demona, and Bronx. I did not get Hudson yet because he seems to be shelf warming everywhere, so I think I can wait for him to go on sale. Yeah, I really would like to have the entire clan. They're just like a little bit more than I'd like to spend right now, so maybe I hopefully get them all on clearance and then we can think about them. But I think it's awesome they got the entire thing out. I need more like closed up like wings, because like those gigantic splayed wings are a nightmare for display, as they probably figured out by the fact that 4 of them have the draped wings instead. But no, I still really like these. I believe it looks like the Demona and Goliath are getting another run, because those expressions I do not believe come with the original figures. They certainly didn't come with a Phoenix Gate. So, we'll see. It might be a 2-pack referencing the marriage episode. I didn't really read the announcement to see if that was true or not. And then I'm going to finish off talking about this. My God. So, yeah. That's big. So this is being crowdfunded, similar to a HasLab thing. They need like, I think 3,000 pre-orders, and it's $650. But it is a Cat Slayer in scale with the Super 7 Thundercats toys, which means it's absolutely gigantic. It's incredibly impressive is what it is. I can't even begin. Like, I'm like struggling. My Unicron just kind of sits on a table, in front of my TV. So I can't even begin to imagine where you put the blind one in charge of the cannon, which, to be fair, I've seen him in the show. I think he can handle it. He's got more perception than I do sometimes. But no, like, this is extremely, what's the word I'm going for? Excessive. Excessive is one. Ambitious. Ambitious is the word. The playset stuff inside is even. You got the meeting table. It's got seats for everyone. Snarf included, it looks like. That's a nice detail to remember. Full playset inside. Presume you got all the standard stuff, like prison, trapdoors, etc. The fun stuff. I see the control panel up top that represents the original show. That's good. That works out really well. There's the spot, it's where the Sword of Omens rests. It's display platform. All right, and yeah, and I think the laboratory is like a stretch goal thing. And yeah, and then there's the main computer. Man, there's so, man, it's I don't know how you begin to afford it, and I don't know how you begin to have a place for it in your displays. But to everyone who is going to be going for it, good luck to you. All right, so obviously there's hundreds of things at SDCC we could talk about, not even just in the toy realm, but I'm going to cap it off there. That's kind of the stuff I kind of wanted to geek out over. So excuse me if I'm a little bit indulgent today, because this is cool. This is really cool. So, thank you guys for watching. It'll probably be back to Transformers-centric tomorrow. Don't worry. We won't stray off topic for too long. But thank you guys for watching as I ramble and geek out. It's what I do here. I will see you next time.
I'm like, I think you guys got this. I will back away, and I will see you all later.
You've got this handled.
Alaffi's like, really? You're not gonna help me? Like, it's fine now.
It's like these disgusting creatures breathing down my neck, and you're all just like, I believe in you. You got this.
All right, you seem to have this. 5 minutes.